Howdy folks, and welcome to the third video of the Q&A session with Victor Kislyi, the Chief Executive Officer of Wargaming, conducted at the Wargaming Education Centre in the Bovington Tank Museum on the second day of Tankfest. In today's video, it takes Victor 10 minutes to answer this question, so there's only going to be one question asked in this video, but it's the big one. Pointy Haired Jedi asks Victor all about World of Warplanes. So without any further ado, let's crack on and see what Victor has to say.
Me again. You mentioned earlier, you did mention World of Warplanes. Now obviously World of Tanks has been very successful, and World of Warships looks like it, to my eyes anyway, it seems like that is probably going to do very well as well. But World of Warplanes has noticeably been lacking in that department, and I wondered if there was some I realise you probably won't be able to tell any details, but to revamp it, to bring out like World of Warplanes 2.0, to reinvigorate it somehow.
Who leaked it? That was a joke. It's a very good question, and the reality is this. No matter how optimistic you are about your baby products, no matter how optimistic your team is, no matter how successful World of Tanks is, we realized, now this is 100% sure, that World of Tanks Blitz, World of Tanks, even 360, and especially World of Warplanes and World of Warships are different games. Yes, they do share this free-to-win monetization style, which is like not very, it's soft. Let's face it, it's soft. The progression style, the battle arena, the arena, they have certain elements which are similar, but the gameplay, the core mechanics are different, which makes them different games. Coming back to happiness of the player, we were a little bit of history. We were, of course, a little bit euphoric after the success of World of Tanks, and the players all wanted, hey, you gave us tanks, now give us ships, give us modern tanks, give us spaceships, give us sail ships, and give us planes, and of course give us planes, some other crazy ideas too. But obviously, within our devotion to history, these historical vehicles, ships and planes was the obvious continuation, and we met and shook hands with Leicester Studio in St. Petersburg and Persha Studio in Kiev, and hey, you make ships, so take whatever you want from us, assets, technology, of course, financing and everything, and the same happened with World of Warplanes. It's a good team. So Ukraine is a country of very talented people, and they have more game developers than Belarus in general. However, something obviously did not work out. What we are right now doing for some time already, of course, we have to analyze that. I mean, I would be lying to you, say, hey, this is success, because we printed the CCU number, right? So you can go yourself and see what's going on. And this is a true CCU number. You can make experiment. You can ask 100 of your friends to log in at the same time, so you will see plus 100. Here, obviously, in World of Tanks, some things we were lucky about some things. So whatever happened, most of those things we knew and calculated. Some of those things we did not quite know, but they worked out well. Let me explain you what my understanding of the difference between tanks and planes as a game. So tank is like a car, right? So everybody can drive a car or a bicycle. So tank moves, forward, backward, left, right, and does this backward, left, backward, right. So and it's on the plane. The planes, on the other hand, in 3D environment, they're moving really very fast. Tanks are slow, by definition, most of them slow. They're special class of fast tanks, but that's rather an exception to underline the slowness of the main tank, right? It has rotating turret. Why? To shoot the enemy, right? You rotate. So in a tank you can go there and shoot there. In a tank you can, if you don't know what to do, you stop. You hide behind the building because you have sophisticated 3D environment with houses, bushes, hills, all those elements of the ground. So you can hide and think what to do. At least you don't die immediately. Also, good news is that your targets are also slow. So it's easier with a rotating turret to aim and shoot at slower tank. Moreover, your enemies from time to time stop because they don't know what to do, or stop because you destroy, you damage the tracks. So it's a good combination of possibilities of shooting, destruction, or making damage. It's a good combination of those elements which allow you to meaningfully and quite frequently make damage. The game is about making damage and finally destroying, right? Planes pretty much have very few of those things. They're very fast. I mean, they're moving at 300, 400 miles per hour, right? Second of all, they're in 3D. Our brains, don't get me wrong, this is my personal explanation as of now, and this is not the excuse, but we have to look at the reality. So our brains are not designed by evolution for flying. We move on the plane. Well, the maximum we do, we just go up the tree to pick up an orange, right? So we're not supposed to fly. Who can fly? Only pilots who are very special people who are specially trained for many years in special academies, right? And not everyone can be a pilot, especially for a dogfight, military pilot. It's like the superhumans, right? So but with tanks, it's moving on the plane. It's like moving a car. It's easier. Another problem is that in a plane you fly there and you have to shoot there. So you cannot fly there and shoot there. So if you want to shoot there, you have to fly there, but you don't necessarily have to fly there. You want to go there. So that's why you have this cognitive dissonance in your head with 3D environment, but you have 6 freedom axes like X, Y, Z, and rotation in 3 directions. Plus you have a gun and your direction of movement, which is a lot of dimensions to very quickly perceive. So that's why so far, at least this flight model which we put in the game was not enjoyable enough for a good retention rate. Yeah, you love planes. Yeah, you watched Pearl Harbor and Red Tails. Yeah, your granddad maybe was fighting in the Pacific and on a plane. But let's not forget, we're making a computer entertainment product. It's a game. It has to be enjoyable. So those warship battles, tank battles, and plane battles, they were okay. Warplane, I withdraw this from tanks and ships. They were taking much longer time in the real history, especially warships. But we have to pack them into 15 minutes battle, so that you can casually play if you want. So making a hardcore simulation game out of World of Warplanes, that would definitely not be a goal. It's with all those things, it's forget about it. So making it too casual, like there are some very casual warplane games, would hurt. We could have done this. It would probably hurt the true to military history spirit which Wargaming chose. So we had to find a balance somewhere in between. I'm talking about this dogfighting style. Because the historical accuracy of the planes, all the details, we have that. Like you understand, we have hundreds of those planes. They're accurately researched, and with all those camouflages and equipment, easy. So with tanks, we hit the sweet spot. With ships, we kind of hit it now, I think, because our numbers retention says so. But we did not. By the way, with all the warships, a year ago, we were thinking that we would launch open beta a year ago, like in April. But then the experience of all the warplanes told us, look at the test numbers, and the test numbers were not good. So people would play like 40 battles and then stop, alpha players. It meant something was wrong, so we took another year for all the warships to pretty much remake the whole game. Those who were participating in alpha know it. So why? Because, okay, historical accuracy, blah, 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 it's all important, it was there, but the actual ship dogfighting was not enjoyable enough to hold you more than 40 battles. That's why we took another year to make it nice. Okay, we simplified some things, yeah, because it was too hardcore with this. It was hardcore in the core mechanics of shooting and penetration of the ship, body. So now it's looking good. So let's have our fingers crossed that open beta will prove us right. But with World of Warplanes, apparently at its release, we saw the numbers, but we believed the miracle. It was pretty much me at the end of the chain saying, okay, we'll be fine, release. It was a little more complicated than that, but the short version is this. Let's just you open it and it's white and people will get enthusiastic, blah blah blah. No, if the numbers are saying your retention is not good, it's not going to get much better. So for World of Warplanes, we admit it's not successful. Well, for some other company, maybe it would be a success. Even those numbers we have to tell World of Warplanes would make money for, let's say, smaller company. But in our case, this is not something we don't want to give up on this. So we're still researching. We're still making experiments, mainly in the dogfighting. It's called aerodynamic model, flight model. It's a combination of laws of physics. Of course, they're a little bit twisted from the real laws of physics, because otherwise you will end up with long, realistic dogfights, and controls, which again, you have only a mouse and a keyboard. You don't have all those, dozens of switches, so you have to simplify it significantly to make it enjoyable for you. This work is not yet over, and yeah, this is, well, right now I cannot make you happy saying, oh yeah, we'll use it tomorrow. No, we're still looking what was wrong. Mostly we got that, and we are looking to find the ways, to find out whether or not it's possible to actually bring it back and make it significantly more accessible for non-professional pilots.
So there it is, World of Warplanes. Pointy Haired Jedi leading the charge there, and somebody finally asking Victor a relatively tough question. So what did you think of Victor's response? How do you think he handled the question? As always, leave your opinions in the comments of this video, and there will be another of the Victor Kislyi Q&A session videos coming up tomorrow. In fact, every day until I've covered the whole Q&A session as a bonus video, in addition to the regular content on my channel. So that's it for today. And before we go, I'd just like to take this opportunity to wish America a very, very happy birthday, and many more to come. That's it for today, folks. Catch you tomorrow.